to First Unity Spiritual Campus. So glad you're here.
First Unity, how y'all doing?
Yes.
We're about to make it a little better in here today. There's a misconception that temptation won't affect us at all, at all, at all. But just like anyone else, if I let it hit my heart, I'll fall, I'll fall, I'll fall. And I can't act like I don't know how. Yeah, I beat myself up about it now, but tomorrow just do better, better, better. Better, better, better. Keep on moving closer, closer, closer. Yeah, you know that all is forgiven because it'll help you to do better. We all have fallen, but you can't stay on the ground for long, for long, for long. Because after a while, you start thinking it's not an option. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And I can't undo what you did now. So take the clean slate that grace allows. Tomorrow just do better, better, oh, better. Do better, better, better. Keep on moving closer, closer, closer. Yeah, you know that all is forgiven because it'll help you to do better.
I will do better. It won't hurt to be a little stronger, long as we're together.
After a while, I'll notice something different, and it started when I decided to
Gotta clean up
what I messed up. Hey, starting all over again. Hey, I gotta clean up, yeah,
better,
what I messed up. Hey, starting all over again. I gotta clean up
closer,
what I messed up. Starting all over again. Gotta clean up what I messed up. Starting all over again. I gotta clean up
closer,
what I messed up. Starting all over again. Gotta clean up what I messed up. Starting all over again.
Oh, wow. Well, we know things are better because of them. I mean, are they amazing or what? Our Unity voices are amazing. Yes, absolutely. Wow. Are we blessed or what? Are we blessed or what? Yes, we are. That energetic presence of God, and we are so blessed. And welcome to the most energetic, electrifying, innovative spiritual community in the world. We just Keep stepping in it. You know, when you really have that relationship with God, it's really understandable that you have amazing self-esteem, you know, because that's where it comes from. And here at First Unity, we are not full of ourselves. We are full of spirit. And we wake up every morning and say, well, hello, God, I'm excited. How can I be you today? Here we go. So we greet you with an open mind and a loving heart. If you're over 30, please stop blaming your parents or stop blaming anyone unless you take responsibility. We are a place of no guilt, no shame. We welcome everyone here from any walk of life, and we welcome all sentient beings. That is who we are. If you would stand with me, please, as we state our great invocation. It brings us together in alignment of who we are and our history of the Fillmorian teaching. We are now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. We acknowledge thy presence and thy power, O blessed Spirit. In thy divine wisdom, now erase our mortal limitations, and from thy pure substance of love, bring into manifestation our world according to thy perfect law. A simple way of saying, this is the day for you to align your mind and your heart and create the life that is longing to occur within you. Thank you for visiting us on firstunity.org. And when we are live with any event, it comes right up on the homepage. It's our new thing. We're so excited about it. Also, check out our calendar and activities coming in the future. You can go to get our phone app. It's available at Google Play or Apple App Store. It's a place to watch us, even go and watch us this morning. We're delighted that we have ILI. We have more and more students and lifelong learners participating. If you are that person that said earlier you are expanding your life, know that often a class or a course or being engaged with a different kind of teacher can open your heart in a new way. With everyone joining us online from all over the world, I wanted to hold a space of prayer. I wanted to hold a space of a vibration of light and love and energy on this Valentine's Day, which the deeper level beyond all the romance is to say we give thanks that we represent love. And so in that consciousness awareness, remember that I affirm for you, love has no memory. Love is fresh, it is raw, it is real. It is coming to you with new insight, with new innovative ways of looking at your life. And most importantly, may you know with every part of you that love comes to you as you expect the definition and the way of love to come to you. If you desire change, change love inside, and it will permeate within your life the new you as a new vision of love. And so it is. So one of the things that I have on purpose put energy into through the years here is to teach people that it's not just human beings that walk the earth. We aren't just here to do what we want, when we want, and there's only us. We have all sentient beings who have a consciousness, who have a heart, who have a personality of experience. And I introduce you today to Cheryl McDaniel and Sophie from the Sophie Project that started because of Sophie in 2012. Enjoy.
I wanted to introduce a very special person. This is Sophie. Sophie is 9 years old, and she is formerly known the Street Dog of Brazil, aka Diva of Duval, and most recently, RV Dog of the United States of America. I want to go back to 2012 when we went on a trip with Temple Hayes to a very tiny town in Brazil. At that time, I've learned something special about Temple, and I think that it surprised her as well. She set out to save every street dog of Brazil. She founded a puppy, and the puppy was scared and hungry, and she brought it into the Pasoda, and I took one look at that puppy, and that puppy took one look at me, and we fell in love. and tried to figure out a way to bring that puppy to Seattle, Washington. Temple Hayes greeted the puppy November 2012 in Tampa, Florida, where she set foot on USA soil for the first time. She reached Seattle, Washington, Thanksgiving 2012. I wanted to introduce a former street dog of Brazil, and she's 9 years old now. And what I've said to Temple before and wanted to say again: you may save one animal, and it may not change the world, but for that one animal, her world has changed forever. Namaste.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Keep your eyes on the road ahead. If you feel lost in the night, it's okay to cry, as long as you hold your head. On our way to better's ahead, better's ahead. It gets worse before it gets better. Better's ahead, better's ahead. Better days are coming. Better days are coming. Better days are coming. Better days are coming.
I know you've been kicked down, stepped on, let down, faith gone, waited for too long for something to lean on. You feel weak, just be strong. Deep breath and stay calm. Just press on, press on, press on. You're gonna see there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Keep your eyes on the road ahead. And if you're feeling lost in the night, it's okay to cry, as long as you hold your head.
We're on our way.
Better days ahead. Better's ahead.
Better's ahead.
Better's ahead.
Better's ahead.
Better's ahead. It gets worse before it gets better.
Better's ahead.
Better's ahead.
Better days are coming. Yeah.
Better days are coming.
I know.
Better days are coming. Better days are coming.
I know. Better days.
Better days, better days, better days, better days, better days.
Coming.
Oh, coming, I'm coming.
Better days.
Better days.
Things will get better.
Things will get better.
Oh, yes, they will.
special sharing. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, there's a conversation in many social communities called a read. Now, this special sharing today could qualify as a read, but it's not intended to be so. That being said, the library is open. So, back in the 60s, there was a show called Bewitched. And Bewitched and her husband lived in a suburban community, and they had a neighbor named Mrs. Kravitz. Mrs. Kravitz and Abner was her husband. So this little story that I'm getting ready to tell you, I want you to keep those nosy neighbors in mind. So one day Gladys gets up and she goes to the kitchen, she grabs her cup of coffee, she looks out of the window and she goes, ooh, today is gonna be a gloomy day. It's so gloomy outside. So Abner, sitting in the chair reading the paper, says, that's funny. It says sunshine, no clouds. So she turns around and goes back about, do her day. Then she comes back in the kitchen again, she looks out, she goes, Abner, yes dear, have you looked at the neighbor's house lately? Must have been a dust storm that came through here last night because that house looks terrible. He says, yes dear. So she goes on and she comes back and she looks out of the window again and she says, Abner, somebody really ought to do something and tell those neighbors that their house needs to be power washed or something needs to happen. The homeowners association, it's a blight on the neighborhood. He says, yes, dear. She said, no, Abner, really, come look. So he folds up the paper, he gets up, and he goes to the window and looks out the window and says, I see, dear. Is that all you're gonna say, Abner? Is that all? Yes, dear. So, next day, she gets up again, she goes into the kitchen, and she gets her coffee, looks out of the window, and goes, look at the neighbor's house. It's all clean. And he comes in with the wash bucket and mop and puts it down and pours the water out in the sink. And she said, well, what have you been doing? Washing our window. It wasn't the neighbor's house. It was our window. You see, Gladys, the neighbor's house wasn't dirty. Our windows were dirty. Our view or perspective of their house was askew. Askew because of the filth we had accumulated. Gladys, your perspective is off because you were looking through dirty windows. Now there's an old gospel quartet song that says, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. Because it may not be your neighbor who has a problem. It could be that the window, lens, or filter that we're using or choosing to see them through. Now, my mother used to have a saying. She used to say, my calendar for the year is full. I said, what do you mean, Mama? She said, well, I have 6 months to mind my business. And I have 6 months to leave yours alone. My calendar is full. Now, my aunt and I had a chuckle this week because she dug into a family matter that really didn't concern her, but she felt that she just had to look into it. And she said to me, I don't know, maybe it was just my nosy nature, but I couldn't let that go. I said, yes, Rosetta Stone. It was your nosiness. You were being busy, but at least she owned up to it. She owned up to being nosy. Most of us are drinking the water from Egypt. We're so deep in denial until we can't admit that we're nosy. And as the book says, busy in other men's matters. So, some of you here may have noticed me doing this. And when I do that, that means you're asking me a question that really doesn't concern you. So I just go, which means your nose is in the wrong place. Please remove. question should be asked, and not every thought that comes to mind should come out of the mouth. Maybe this is one of those things. With that being said, the library is now closed.
This week, in a musical moment in Black History, we feature 3 songs. Turn Me Round, Ezekiel Saw the Wheel, and Oh, When the Saints Go Marching In. Many spirituals derived from the Freedom Trail had dual meanings. See if you can decipher the messages from this week's spirituals. I present to you Wanda Nero Butler and the First Unity Voices.
Ain't gonna let nobody
Turn me round, turn me round, turn me round.
Ain't gonna let nobody
Turn me
I'm
round.
gonna
Keep on a walking,
keep
keep
on
on a talking,
keep
walking up
on.
freedom land.
Ain't gonna let no hatred
Turn me round, turn me round, turn me round.
Ain't gonna let no hatred
Turn me
I'm
round.
gonna
Keep on a walking,
keep
keep
on
on a talking,
keep
walking
on.
up freedom land.
I ain't gonna let nobody
Turn me round,
no
turn me round, turn me round.
I ain't gonna let nobody
Turn me round.
gonna
Keep on a walking,
keep
keep
on
on a talking,
keep
walking
on.
up freedom land.
Because
Ezekiel saw the wheel, way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel,
way
way in the middle of the air.
Say
Ezekiel
Ezekiel.
saw the wheel, way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel, way in the middle of the air. Now the little wheel runs by faith, and the big wheel runs by the grace of God. And the wheel turning up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel, he saw the wheel, way in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel, he saw the wheel, way in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel, way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel, way in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel, way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel, way in the middle of the air.
when the saints
When the saints go
marching in,
marching in,
when the saints
when
go
the saints go
marching in,
marching in.
oh how I want to be in that number when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the
When
sun
the sun
begins to shine,
begins to
oh,
shine,
when the sun
when the sun
begins to
begins
shine,
to shine.
oh how I want to be in that number oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be in that number when the saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be in that number when the saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be in that number when the saints
go marching,
when the saints
go marching,
when the saints go marching in.
When the saints go marching in, that song says, and you're the saints, march into the understanding that the universe loves you. When the saints go marching in, when I go marching in to that understanding, I ask you to put both feet on the ground and take a deep breath in and center yourself so the universe can feed you because you're a saint marching in. Take a deep breath in. Visualize, just like on the cover of your phone, when you hit the little hearts fly up. Visualize that the universe are flying those hearts into your soul. Let them swirl around within you. Knowing that the universe loves you unconditionally. You're the saint in your life. You're the saint in your universe. Take that love and march boldly in your life. I ask you to gather those hearts up in your vision. Put them in your pocket or your purse or your backpack or just simply in your hand. Deep breath in. Exhale. Feel the warmth of the love of those hearts that are in your hand or in your possession. Visualize yourself maybe meeting your grandmother who passed away 30 years ago. Nana, here's a heart of love that I still carry for you. Maybe it's someone you haven't seen in a long time period. Here's a heart. I'm giving you this heart because it's been freely given to me. I'm giving it to you. Take a deep breath in. Visualize someone that you've had a ruffle with this week. Visualize yourself giving in that heart that the universe has so freely given to you, and you must give away. Visualize the smile that comes across the face of that person. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Those hearts represent the breath that you take in. Those hearts you give away are the breath that you exhale. The universe loves you and kisses you every moment of the day. Deep breath in. Exhale. Visualize yourself giving those hearts away unconditionally. Not conditionally, unconditionally. Maybe the person who bags your groceries at the market. Visualize yourself giving that person a heart. Know from the sole of your feet to the top of your head, you can feel the warmth, the glow of the love of the divine, the Creator that loved you so much that the stars were flung into the universe. So take that warm heart and give it unconditionally. Deep breath in. Exhale. Come back to yourself before you open your eyes. And know that in human flesh, sometimes we aren't perfect. But today, I ask you to forgive yourself and give yourself a heart and feel the warmth of the divine. Fill your soul with the unconditional love that the universe gives you. God so loved the world that He gave you, she gave you, the universe gave you to be essence in this universe called life. And so it is.
Ready to step up and make a difference in the world? Ready to follow your soul's mission? If you have been looking for a sign towards a new direction in life, the Institute for Leadership and Lifelong Learning may be just the path you've been looking for. With a spiritual leadership program that provides guidance and a clear path for those who are called, ILLI offers a unique and empowering opportunity of growth and empowerment. Fully embodying the role of a spiritual leader requires you to be present for your own life so that you can serve and guide others. Freeing yourself from your own self-limiting thoughts and behaviors is a must if you seek to be a beacon of light and hope to others along their journey. As an ILLI ordained spiritual leader, you will be invited to continue on your path of learning with our institute and beyond. Graduates of our program may become teachers or faculty, mentors or coaches with ILLI, and the licensing we provide will provide you with many options to become a difference maker in the world.
And so with it being the season of love and the consciousness of honoring, one of our beloved and esteemed colleagues and staff members, Alan Armstrong, has been quite ill. and his physical presence has been challenged, to say the least. And so when you think about love, love is about being brave and bold and sharing with people while they are living that they matter. Not waiting to give some kind of glorified speech when the person isn't there. Yes? And so it just became very clear when we think about a man that has given 25 years of service to this campus. There's not a wall here or a door or a garden or a chair that he has not touched with his heart. So it is my deepest pleasure on behalf of everyone, because we could all, any of us could be speaking right now, to say that as of today, Valentine's Day 2021, our sanctuary will now be known as the Alan Armstrong Sanctuary. Or, as Wanda would say in the library, the Alan Armstrong Auditorium, also known as AAA.
Those are his initials.
Let's say thank you, Alan. We love you.
Sometimes it seems that life can be a little challenging, a little hard sometimes. But we're here today to share with you that better days are coming. Matter of fact, just start walking in better. Sometimes it feels cold and you feel all alone, but hold on, better days are coming. It can be rough in this world, I know it ain't easy, but hang on in there. There's better days are coming. You sing good, you sing bad. You've been hurt beyond knowing, but just remember that better days are coming. Friends will leave you all by yourself. Don't cry, because we know that better days are coming. Help me say better days. I don't care what nobody else says. I speak better days over my own life. Yeah, better days are coming. Now it's only a season for what you're going through, but hang on in there. There's better days if you stay focused. Never lose sight. I know people, they don't see your hurt or that you
your sister and your brother. Walking, walking, moving better. Better days, better days. Somebody asked, why are better days always coming? Don't wait for them. Just start walking in better.
Yeah.
Start talking in better.
Yeah.
Start moving in better.
Yeah.
Cause better days, it's a promise. Better days are on their way. They're coming.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, this team is just over the top amazing, right? I mean, just absolutely. And wherever you're watching on YouTube or online, send them some love. You know, we all appreciate hearing that our team is appreciated, because indeed they are. So there's a woman driving down Central Avenue in St. Petersburg, and she's in a real hurry. And she's into her busy mode and all those things that happen when your adrenal is running. And so she's rushing along, and a car in front of her is going under the light, under the yellow light. And she goes, oh, he's going to go ahead and go. Well, he doesn't. He slams on brakes and he stops. And she's just flipped out because she's in a hurry. And so she lands on her horn. She starts doing sign language out the window and just kind of lays down on his horn, you know. I mean, we could be embarrassed for her, that's for sure. But by this time, with all the activity going on, there's a police officer that's kind of noticing this going on. And so he turns on his light and he pulls up to her and pulls her over. And he said, ma'am, I need to see your driver's license and your registration. And so she gives it to him. And he says, you're going to have to come down to the station with me. So she goes in the station, and a couple hours go by, and then he comes to her and says, okay, ma'am, it's really okay that you go now. And she said, well, okay, I appreciate that, but I don't understand what I've done. You know, I didn't know, what did I do? He said, well, you have to see it from my perspective. He said, I was looking at your car, and on the back I noted all the bumper stickers. Love your brother and sister. We are one. Namaste. Be calm. Find the truth within. Unity. First unity. Yeah. And ma'am, I thought you were driving a stolen car. As my wife would say, be sure and tell them that you remember that you've told that story before. And yes, I do remember, but that's to me the beauty and the richness of the healing faculty when it comes to stories, is that every time you hear them in a different way. We must be congruent. This woman that was driving that car was not practicing being congruent with all her stickers on her car, with how she was living her life. And I'll tell you, I've never forgotten that story. When I start getting all worked up about something and somebody's pulled out in front of me, I just do the southern wave. Hey, oh, let me. So it's important that we are congruent when it comes to the consciousness of love. Love is not something that we do with others or sentient beings on a special occasion. Just a special occasion. It's not something that we do one time a year. It's not that we get mushy during the holy days. Love is a responsibility. When you tell someone you are their friend, when you tell someone I love you, when you tell someone you matter to me, you are implying that everything that matters to them matters to you. Even though it may not be what you would have chosen, because it matters to them, it is the responsibility for you to give immense care to that particular experience. It's important to look at your beliefs and make sure they are congruent, that yes, indeed, people are here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, but that comes with everything. People, life is not for sissies. And in that way, I'm not talking gender. I'm talking life is not for sissies. And I believe it was a Hopi elder that said, I don't care how many trophies you have, or I'm paraphrasing, I didn't know I was going to talk about it. I don't care about all this stuff that you have or own. I want to know that when I'm in pain, you can sit with me. I want to know that what matters to me, that you will actually care about it. That's the responsibility. I am so grateful, and I give thanks so many days in my life for my shaman teacher that taught me how to heal my southern niceties. Because she made me realize how incongruent I was when, even though I had taught be nice, be kind, and all that, we should tell also our children, but don't be fake. And you know what it means, like when you see somebody out and you go, it's so good to see you, and you don't mean it. Or you tell somebody, let's get together sometime. Many a time I went, we'll never hear from them again. But just sticking with me, I had those niceties of that space, that quiet space of filling it with something or saying something coming out of my mouth that was absolutely not true. It was sweet, but it wasn't real, and it wasn't true. It was just fakeism. Yeah, a nice shirt. I wouldn't wear that shirt. It's the last thing I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to look at this. I want you to look at it, and I want you to listen to the words that you say to other people. If you don't mean it, it's a lie. If you don't mean it, it's that. Well, then I worked with another teacher from Singapore who taught me that what I say, now I'm planning karma. So when you run around and say, let's get together sometime, and you don't mean it, and you don't do it this time, you may come back to fulfill that promise. And I went, whoa, okay. So congruency. Congruency with relationship, congruencies with the commitments that we make is very, very important. I know that Phil Moore's, Charles and Myrtle, as well as Ernest Holmes, would clearly say that there is one thing that gets in our way in our humanity so much more than anything else, and that's the inability for us to tell the truth to ourselves. And when you stop the patterning of just giving right answers and flippant answers and things you haven't really thought of, you start to notice, and you start having an internal change, and you start becoming aware of how you have not been truthful with yourself. It's powerful and it's magical, you see. When you think about people, you think now there's 7.5 billion people that exist on this circle that we call the planet and Mother Earth. You aren't convincing people when you tell them that you're not able to find some great friends. You're not very convincing when you say that you can't find someone to love you, because that's a whole lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And so what you want to do, and we had Vincent Jenna as one of our influencers not too long ago, and I was watching something yesterday where he was on ABC News, and he said, when you take a sheet of paper and write, people I want to love, and make your list of the qualities that you're looking for. It was very powerful. He said, make the list of the things that you're looking for and the qualities of other people that you want in your life. He said, now once you finish, go at the top and mark through the people that you're looking for and put the word M-E. Right? I know, let's give Vincent a shout out. I mean, he was on ABC News, like, yay. But here we go, right? Because he said, put the word me at the top. Now look, do you have those qualities? Do you have those characteristics? Are you expressing that? Because if you were, and if you are, then you have lots of people in your life that are exactly like that, you see. I was so happy that for 2 years I was able to share with Reverend Alan Robotham. We remained friends until the day he died, and we're still friends, even though he's on the other side. But that being said, he gave a talk one Sunday that I have remembered all of my life, because he talked about 1 Corinthians 13. Love is patient and kind. Love does not, it's not, okay, I'm doing a teleprompter and he's going too fast for me. Can we start over? Thank you. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It's not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Go to your Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. But that really stuck with me as I listened to a holy, sacred man as a minister talk about going through moments when he would go out to take a jog and he would come back to the house and his wife wouldn't remember his name. As he talked about, let me be patient and let me be kind. And he has moments with her health and seeing the challenges of his beloved. Please let me be patient and kind. And I carry that anchor with me in my congruency so much when it comes to my 83-year-old mom or a 5-year-old little girl or someone at the grocery store. Let me be patient. And let me be kind and holding that space. It's very, very powerful. Love is all around us. All the time. In 2011, on a late Saturday evening, my little Yorkie dog that had been with me, he was 14 years old, late coming into Sunday morning, he died. And it was just, I was a mess. There's no doubt about it. But I had shared this story with the community about the loss that I was feeling and that I was grieving because it was just the elephant in the room. And during the week, I called forth remembering that I am a feather lady and that feathers show to me in the idea of love. Everywhere I go, there's feathers that it'll fall. It will come down. I've actually told people praying when they would be in a hospital room, there's probably going to be a feather that shows up in the hospital room. Now, you know that's hard because they use more Clorox than you can breathe. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, I talked to my little dog. And there were 4 of us walking the beach on this particular day after that Sunday. And I said, I just want y'all to know that I told Digby that to let me know he's okay and send some feathers. And I want you to know, never before again in my life did I see about 60, 70, 80, 90 feathers on the beach walk. Never happened before, never happened again. Spirit, love, bringing in energy, life. It's all there. It's our responsibility and how we respond with our ability to accept how deep love can go and how we manage it. Talking about this wonderful world that we live in and loving all sentient beings and knowing that they have a purpose. I shared a few years ago about Anthony Lawrence. If you haven't read about him, look this up. Anthony Lawrence went into Africa and worked with the elephants that were wild. And the people were killing them and saying that they were just too wild to manage. He not only went with them, but he lived with them and wanted to understand their well-being and their culture, etc. Anthony Lawrence suddenly died. And the day he died, elephants came from miles and miles and miles away and stood in front of his home and wept. And wept. It's been documented of how many elephants showed up, and they stood there and mourned for 2 days. For 2 days. When I spoke at the Parliament of the World Religions, this was what I addressed. Because the problem with religiosity is people quote, well, we can abuse animals, because we have dominion over them. In Scripture it says we have dominion over them, right? We're talking about consciousness, aren't we? We have a different way of thinking. We have a different level of consciousness, but it never says in there that ours is better. It's just ours is different because we talk and we analyze and we overthink. And I think the day will come when we get down on our knees and we apologize to the creatures on this planet that we are the ones that were ignorant and we missed it. Adam and Eve should have stuck with apples. I'm just saying. Because the problem is, the issue is, and just I want you to hold this for me, and I'm asking you to pray about it because I feel like we are responsible. Remember I said with love, there's a responsibility. See, the issue is I'm not trying to get you to be vegan, okay? I don't need a club to validate how I feel. Do you? You don't need a club. No, you don't need a club. What you need to know, though, is every year millions and billions of lives are sacrificed and never make it to a table. That ought to make you upset. It brings me to tears because life has become commercial rather than sacred. So ask yourself, what's one thing, two things, three things that you can do to be part of that? Because it's ridiculous. It's absolutely unacceptable in 2021 to know what we know and be who we are and allow this stuff to go on. Let's go. Yes, absolutely. There's power in that, and there is magic in that. I told a story yesterday at a memorial that many years ago, I was at a yard sale, and there was this jacket. You would have loved it, Wanda. I mean, it was as gaudy as jackets get. It was black. Oh, wait a minute. Cut that out of the tape. No. Everything in life is timing. Don't forget that. Anyway, it was this beautiful, wild, gaudy jacket that was black that had these huge buttons on it. And they were primary colors. And I mean, you could see that jacket coming down the street. And I bought it and I said, what in the world am I thinking? And where am I ever going to wear it? So I was telling a friend and I was asking her if she wanted it. And she said, no, but why don't you do a Sunday talk and talk about don't let anybody push your buttons? And I said, wonderful, right? So I did the talk one Sunday, and I think people seemed to like it. Most of them came back. But months later, I'm called in to talk to a family that the gentleman has lost his mom, and I didn't know her. But in the morning that I was getting ready, I got the message, wear that black jacket with those big buttons. And you know how you argue with spirit? I went, there is no way. I mean, that is a night jacket, to say the least. And the staff's going to make fun of me all day long, in wearing it. And, you have to surrender. And I said, okay, so I'll wear it. So here I come walking in. And I mean, this family must have 18 people. And we were gathered talking about this woman and her service and everything as I'm sitting there with this preoccupied jacket with myself. As I get up to leave and I turn to the son and I said, I didn't have the pleasure of knowing your mom. He said, she was so excited to know that you were going to be the minister here. The only time she could come and see you is the day you did the talk that you wore that jacket. And I said, well, you can blame her, because it's her that I wore this jacket for today. But you see, there would have been a time that I would have been incongruent and I would have been concerned of what people thought of me to share a story like that to people I don't know in unity. I mean, we'll take it. But I mean, out at other memorials. And these are the stories that I tell now. I would have been concerned with my Southern nicety that they would have thought I was crazy. Now I hope they think I am. You know what I mean? Because that's that power and that's that energy. So as we talk about love, remember also there's never a right for one and a wrong for another. If you're thinking of leaving a job and it's right for you, it will be right for the place that you are employed. They may not be aware of it, but they're ready to. If you're thinking about exiting a relationship and it feels right to you, it will be right for them also. Where you have to learn to come from when love is patient and love is kind, when it's not boastful and it's not arrogant, you have to realize that if you are serving anywhere and you don't love it, You are getting in the way of the person that would love it. Please stop doing people a favor by justifying your ego that they're not going to be okay without you. Move out of the way so that they can have the experience that they deserve. If you really love someone and you can tell yourself the truth and you're not in the right place, you need to exit so they can have that. I learned that many years ago in my relationship with Jack. And I said, 5 years is wonderful, a lifetime isn't. And if I live with you any longer, I will make you wrong. And you need a woman in your life that will praise you, that will raise you, that will see you. I got her birthday letters for 18 more years about how she loved everything about him that just irritated the heck out of me. Don't forget that. Get out of the way and let what needs to occur. Powerful. Very powerful. So I'm going to close. I didn't start till late. I'm going to close today by telling about a cute little story about a cab driver in New York that picks up a nun. And so he's really checking the nun out. And the nun goes, "Excuse me, is something wrong? You're kind of staring at me." And the cab driver says, "Well, I hope you won't judge me." And the nun said, "Honey, I'm old. There's nothing you can tell me that's going to upset me." The cab driver says, "I've always wanted to kiss a nun." And she said, "Well, I'm okay, but you've got to be single and Catholic." And the cab driver says, "I am. No problem. No, yeah, I am." So the nun said, "Okay." So they pull over on the side street and just lays a kiss on that cab driver to make you blush. All right? So they drive away, and all of a sudden the cab driver starts crying. And so the nun said, what's wrong? What's the matter? He said, "I'm sorry I lied. I'm married and I'm Jewish." And the nun said, "No problem. I'm Kevin and I'm going to a costume party." You need to be you when it comes to your life. Happy Valentine's Day. God bless you.
She's a hot mess in a dirty dress. That's what my godson always says. He says, "Uncle Richard, you're a hot mess in a dirty dress." I don't know where he got that from. But you know what? The good, beautiful thing of it is the universe is downloading exactly what you're supposed to hear. And today's been about love. It's been about loving yourself and loving your people around you, loving the universe. Love. Whew, I'm going to take a deep breath on that one. Love. And if you have been touched by the message from this campus, whether you're local, whether you're one of our members who join us typically here when we're open, or you're watching us from Afghanistan, like we had someone last week watching us from Afghanistan, if we are feeding your soul, if we're giving you the tools and the equipment to persevere through this thing that we call life, I encourage you today, say, "Universe, I no longer am living in doubt and lack. Today, I'm going to step forward and become a part of this ministry." How I'm going to become a part of this ministry is I'm going to give. And giving is essential and a part of your spiritual walk. You can have all the crystals you want. You can meditate till the cows come home. If you aren't giving, you're blocking your blessing. And I'm just going to say that. Because a pond becomes stagnated when it doesn't have an exiting flow out. So if your pond is being filled all the time and you're not allowing the flow to go out, guess what? Your spiritual journey will become stagnated. So I encourage you today, How does this ministry go on? How do we touch people around the world? It's because of people like you who choose to be a part of Club 104, who choose to give weekly, who choose to be a part of this ministry financially. Won't you do that today? We need to hear from you. Right at the bottom of this app, you can touch on the little yellow heart. Too bad it wasn't red for Valentine's Day, with the little yellow heart. And you can give today, or you can text to give at 727-800-3493. Or you can write, if there are those people who still write checks. I just wrote a check to someone this morning, or this week. Had my old address and a lens on it, but I still used it. But I wrote a check out. So you may want to write First Unity Spiritual Campus, 460 46th Avenue North, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33703. And I'm sure that information is right along the bottom of the screen. But I encourage you, take the time to give and see this ministry touch people around the world. We love you for it. Thank you.
Yes, we are so excited for the Youth Expressing Spirit My name's Charlie. How's your day?
Oh, Charlie, you're here. Yay, Charlie's here. Yeah, we're having the wilderness walk. Yay!
Oh.
And we're going to be looking for magical fairy creatures. So keep your eyes peeled. If you spot any, just say, hey ho, we found one. All right, now let's look over here. We got some beautiful waterfall.
Hey,
oh,
I'm a magical fairy creature.
oh, hello.
Eat it.
Don't eat me.
Eat it.
Hello, magical creature.
I come in peace.
Yes, we're so excited that you've joined us. What would you like to share?
I must use my magical powers to get rid of this beast.
It looks like it's getting darker.
Would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name's Beep Boop.
Oh, Beep Boop, it's lovely to meet you. And here,
You get that unicorn out of here.
Youth
Get out of
Expressing
here. Get out of
Spirit,
here.
we like
Get
to
out of here.
ask
Get out of here.
children. Let's invite our new friend
Something's got a hold of me.
to share what Spirit is expressing through him, through her. Who are you again? Oh, gone.
Hello.
So people, we at Youth Expressions, goodness gracious, my eardrum just exploded.
What's that sound?
We definitely got some wild boys in
The
the house
power's going
today.
out of control.
All right, Beep Boop, would you please share with us what is Spirit expressing through you today?
Today, my spirit is expressing my laughter. You want to hear me laugh?
Yes, please.
Yay!
Okay.
Let's do that.
Everyone, that's great. I love it.
You guys laugh like cranky queens. I eat gnomes.
Well, thank you, Beep Boop. That was truly a beautiful expression of Spirit, and everyone at home, let's hear your laughter.
Let's all laugh together.
Let's all laugh together. That's silly. Okay. Well, we're so grateful for everyone, all God's children all over the world who have Spirit expressing magical things through you. And if you're laughing or singing or dancing, would you please let us know and type into the comments, what is your favorite way of expressing yourself?
And who's your favorite character?
Yes. I want to hear you laugh.
We have some creative people in our yes department, do we not? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know, you tell us often that you're moved by the service. Please go another step in being moved and share our message on Twitter and other parts of social media. It's never too late to pull up our talk on Facebook and also do a watch party. It's important that we share our message in the world, and it comes with a responsibility on all of our parts. We have next week, we have Robert Clancy. His topic is Being in the Light. We have chosen him as one of our influencers. He is amazing. Look him up before you watch our service. He brings so much to this planet. He's really a beautiful, beautiful man. We have Black History Celebration service February the 28th, which is live streamed at 11:30. We are so excited about it because some of our core leaders will talk about the issues and where we are today and the work that is still left to be done, that's for sure. We have Reverend Christy Hardwick, who is offering Women of Color writing as a spiritual practice the first and third Monday in March, April, and May at 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Zoom. So lots of activities. Go to firstunity.org to check out our classes and see what's happening on live stream or Zoom. We bless you and our hearts are with you. We're so grateful in this season and Valentine's Day that you love us and we love you in return. Bless you.
Join us in the peace song.
Now there is peace on earth, and it has begun
peace begins right here and right now. Let us affirm together our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. For God is amazing. And all the time, God is amazing.
What's love got to do with it?
It's physical, only logical. You must try.